Let's start. Today we will see how to create a Hello World app in the Flutter Android, and also try to understand the stateless and stateful widgets. I have created a simple Flutter app here. Then I removed all the default unwanted code from this app. Let's understand the simplified code. Here we have two primary widgets, one is a stateless widget, and the other one is the stateful widget. A widget is something that describes how a particular user interface or a view should look, with a particular set of configurations and states. A state is a piece of information about the widget that can be read synchronously when the widget is built and can be modified when required. For example, the color of a button widget can be changed at runtime. Here the color property has a state that we can modify. Or, the font size of a text widget can be changed at the runtime. Here the text widget has a property called font size, whose state can be changed. A stateless widget is a widget that is immutable and whose state cannot be changed once it is created. And a stateful widget is also an immutable widget, but it has an object called state, using which we can change the state of its widgets. Let's understand the code now. First of all, we import the material.dart library in our app, which enables us to create a material theme app. Our Flutter app starts with the main function. Inside the main function, we call the runApp method. This runApp method creates my app class instance. Let's see this class. As you can see, my app class extends the stateless widget, which means the state of this my app widget cannot be changed once it is created. So we will use this class to define immutable properties like app theme, app name, app icon, etc. These properties do not change at the runtime and are immutable throughout the app lifecycle. This my app stateless widget has an overridden function called build, which builds this widget for once. Inside this build function, we design that part of our app which is created only once, like app theme, app name, app icon, etc. Here we have used the material app widget and set the theme of the app. The home attribute describes the initial view of our app, the home view. It is set to the my home page class instance. Let's see that class. As you can see, the my home page class extends the stateful widget. As said earlier, the stateful widget itself is an immutable widget, but it can create a subclass state object that can be modified at the runtime. So here we create a state object called _myHomePageState. This _myHomePageState class extends the state class. Here also we have an overridden function called build which builds this stateful widget. This build function gets called every time a widget is modified. So if we change the color of the text widget, this build function gets called. If we check or uncheck a checkbox, this build function gets called. So the build function of the stateless widget gets called only once. But the build function of the stateful widget gets called every time a state of a widget is changed. Inside this build function, we design that part of our app which can be modified from time to time. First, we have used the Scaffold widget. A scaffold is like the base layout of our app, consider it as the flat canvas, upon which we will draw our app. The body attribute of the Scaffold widget is set to a center widget. A center widget will draw its child components at the center of the screen. Inside the center widget, we have set the child attribute to a text widget. A text widget is like a simple text view that can show some text. We have passed the Hello World text in it. Let's run the app. As you can see, our Hello World app is ready, and text is drawn at the center of the screen. So that's it. That's the basics of a Flutter app as of now. Thank you.